Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon, limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.
Well, now that I can say this, it's good to be back, one way or another. I had to take that day off. Things were pretty disgusting in the society, so I kind of needed it. Not to mention work on a few things for J360 TV. But the primary quest isn't over yet because, as I have crossed the threshold into 200 episodes, the road to 300 has begun. And who knows what sort of things will happen on this little pathway. But it'll be fun after a while because, you see, one way or another, I think things are still going to be hitting that foolery. I think the talk in town needs to be checked, and I think one way or another, still got to keep doing what I do best. Speaking the truth in a world that lives and thrives off of ignorance. But, as I go about saying that, we have to start this right. So, welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MedProject or visit medproject.org.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Woo! How's it going, J360 Legion? Welcome back to the J-Man Show here for episode 201. Now, I'm your host, J-Man, of course, as I've always been. And once again, we are back here on the one that started it all, the J-Man Show. And let me tell you this, one way or another, I ain't nowhere near done. 200 being the proper send-off and everything, just looking back on it, 5 years of doing this show, I still got a lot left in the tank. And, I was sitting there thinking this. The minimum of how all this stuff will wrap up would be 500 episodes. Yeah, I thought about that way, way back when. But you see, the thing about it is, getting to 500, let's go on ahead and do this and thresholds, all right? So let's try to get to 300, let's try to get to 400, and then we can go ahead and crack away and get to that 500. And then at that point, things are optional. But as I never really run out of material on things to discuss, and good Lord knows that, society is the gift that keeps on giving. Not all society is bad. There's some good parts in it, but you know what really, really shows all the time, especially throughout all social media and, of course, mainstream regular media. Yeah, regular. Hey, remember, regularity is a very important thing to discuss. The power play is not tonight. Leave me alone, phone. Yeah, that's my phone going off again. It lets me know about a lot of things, not to mention, reminding me of the power play, which we're going to have to get into. But you know what? Because that thing's going to keep making noise for this little bit of the segment, let me go ahead and beat the hell out of that thing, and you listen to this. That's enough of the world domination music for a moment. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, to make sure I gotta take care of that stuff. I also didn't want to fall asleep on you guys because, you know, as soon as I do like great milestone episodes, homeboy needs to get his rest on. And truth be told, as I was getting it, I needed it, man. I was tapped the F out. It was amazing that I was actually able to do that showdown episode I did on Saturday. Yeah, you know. But hey, in the midst of my frustration with things because of, you know, once again, it's still open season on African Americans out there. You know, you would think during a pandemic, or you would think during any time in this era that we shouldn't be going back into horrible race relations, you know? You would think. But once again, we still can never, ever shake it off. We can never bury it. We can never get away from it. And it's really disgusting. It's to the point where it's like, you know, sometimes life is really about being accountable, but I also realize there are people out there who will happily do stupid things on TikTok to get that 15 minutes of shame and all that other crazy stuff, even though TikTok's not like 15 minutes, but you know what I mean. It's just like, nowadays there are no morals, it feels like. It feels like one way or another, people are just skating by, or they just go ahead and they just like, oh, you know, I don't want to take responsibility. I don't want responsibility to happen. Well, you tell me to be more disciplined, but I can't handle it. Things like that. And I'm talking to the police officers on that one. I mean, they already waste your time with certain things, you know? Like, say, like, you get pulled over for the most minor fraction, or you're probably trying to get that taken care of, and they pull you over anyway, just because, or probable cause and all that. I mean, that's a new one on me regarding, like, having a air freshener in your rear view window. I mean, that's just pointless and stupid, but every state's got their stupid laws. I should read some of the stupid Delaware laws that are out here, just so y'all know. But, you know, it's just above and beyond. And it's disgusting. It's to a point where I was like, no, I'm not going to do it today, you know? But I have to get out there and I have to face it every single day, much like a lot of you other minorities out there, and pretty much some of you white guys out there too face a little bit of problems, just not on the severity as African Americans do. And you know it's true, so don't try to, you know, go on that extra tangent and be like, well, you know, you can't blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, everybody goes through something different, but right here with the Talk in Town, it's just like more and more excuses are being made. And, you know, that's the beauty of it, right? Excuses. Like, there's no need for results. Results are just too hard for things to be achieved, you know? Unless it's like giving a stimulus, you know, which is our own money, by the way. Which is our own money. At least we can get it. But, you know, for some reason, the other side of the spectrum, the 1%, doesn't want any of that getting out. You know what I mean? Anything that's viable or anything that's livable to help, you know, people grow where they need to grow. But they go ahead and they throw all that crazy stuff out there and try to tell you why you don't deserve it. And then there's that other part where I told a friend of mine this. I was like, excuses. The number one thing that is always being used to justify something or another, or to blindside you or me, or to go ahead and make it seem like it's for our own benefit, even though it benefits absolutely no one. And at the same time, it's the number one reason why you can't do something. The reason why, we can never achieve. The reason why we can't get those nice houses and all. The reason why, you know what I'm saying? And there seems to be a lot of can'ts, which pretty much are won'ts. And as they are won'ts, I mean, then you want to have to justify the right reason for not doing that sort of stuff. Yeah, think about it. Like, think about the people that you talk to on average sometimes. And I don't mean like, you know, the Gary V. Crusher types. I don't mean like people like me all the time. I mean, you guys talk to me every week, but let's just say all the time. You know, you ever have that one person in your group that's a downer and that always just stays down because, you know, one way or another, they like being down? Believe it or not, there are some people out here that they have all those problems, but they don't go about any way of solving the said problem because, well, you know, it's hard. Yeah. That kind of stuff. See, that's why I don't hang out with people like that entirely. Matter of fact, I made sure I got rid of a lot of my would-be downers and stuff like that because I can do bad by myself. I don't need somebody chiming around here to try to make, 10 pounds into 20. Let's put it that way. And truth be told, like, I've met a lot of them that try to say, oh, you can't do that, you can't achieve that, you can't have that, you can't live over that way, I can't do it. And I used to say this, I was like, why? Yeah, see, that's how you got to check them on that one. Even when people come together, And they, we gotta come together. I get tired of that nonsense too. Should have came together years ago. Should have been together about things. But one way or another, everybody has their price. So when that price gets hit, that's when you start seeing like, cracks in the cohesion. And it sucks. But you know what I mean, right? Like, think about it. When somebody tells you why you can't do something of a certain way, and I mean within reason now, not like saying, oh, you can't rob a bank. Don't use it for that. That doesn't work. Okay? You know why you can't do that. But if it's like, say, like if you have a goal to have a house in the hills, if you have a goal to live in a prosperous neighborhood, to which all neighborhoods should be prosperous, but, redlining has come into play and systemic racism and all that. But like I'm saying, you want to break that barrier. You want to be like, all right, like say like if you have your own business or you wanted to start your own, like, and somebody come and be like, oh, you can't do that. And then you got to check them. You got to be like, why? And listen to what comes out of their mouth. If it's something that stammers or it stumbles and stuff like that, chances are they're not 100% behind even what they think half the time. Because they're comfortable in their own way. They're not comfortable in the idea of you growing into a better version of yourself or comfortable in you actually taking charge to build something. Something I had to face a lot. Oh, no, Jay. I don't think it could be that, Jay. Oh, no, Jay. Yeah, you damn right you don't know. That's why I went ahead and I asked you why, you idiot. I asked you why because that's something that limits you. See, the thing about a person like me is I went ahead and did it. Oh, you can't run your radio station, Jay. Yeah, okay, idiot. 5 years of doing it. Oh, you can't make your own movies, Jay. Done them. Still doing it. Writing them every day. I don't know if you about writing a book, Jay. Yeah, already doing it. Matter of fact, got back into it. Let me just say this. It's actually pretty fun once you ignore all the BS about everybody talking about how hard it is to market it and all that kind of stuff. When you actually get down and start working on the grind and you start getting, pages written, like 3 pages a night, you actually got a pretty full book there. And this is like your first draft too. So after you're done doing it, at least you can say you did it and you walked away. And as it being a first draft, they don't ship it off to publishers yet. You will have to rewrite the damn thing. That's just the way it goes. But you see, the process is, like, when you go back and you do stuff over and over again, at least you did it. So whereas those I don't know kind of people who always chime in, you already checked them. You already said, gee, I don't know. I don't know, huh? Well, I did it. I do know. I handled it. I mean, will I make a mint off of it? I don't know, but it was actually, yeah, see? Now you don't know. But you see, will you make a mint off it? You don't know, but at least you got it done. And if you're actually smart and you run and you sell that thing, and then you go ahead and you get all the royalties and you go for the gross, you're going to be okay. Especially if it's a top seller. But you see, the thing about these institutions are, man, they losing control every day. They going ahead and they falling apart about different circumstances, certain subject matters that they cover, they can't handle. They can't even give you an apology or, go through the moments of making a retraction, even though retractions cost money. But, the point is that if it's something that you got wrong, you got to be man enough or woman enough, or let's just say identifiable enough to take it, maturable enough to take it. Like, there are times that on this show I got things wrong, and I have admit to it. And truth be told, you know what? I didn't lose any sleep at night. I was honest. In just one way or another, people are not honest like they used to be. And that's the understatement of the year. Because, you're seeing it all the time. Just like when some people are saying, I can't wait till when the pandemic ends. When the pandemic is over. No kidding. No kidding, right? Yeah. You're the one person in the free world that thinks that way, right? You see, here's the thing. Just because you're done with it doesn't mean it's done with us. It's the same thing about, like, certain lessons, life lessons we all go through. You know what I mean? Things that are meant to humble us, like when the humble effect comes to a proper boil and, like, checks J-Man now and again. Yeah. That means I done went too damn far and I didn't go far in the right direction. That's why I got hit with a pause and reset it. You see what I'm saying? Some of y'all have your own humble effect that comes in different ways, but see, your humble effect is nowhere near as danger close and accurate as mine. Because mine loves to say, hey, Jay, it's that time again. And he's popping his knuckles, and I'm popping my knuckles, and I'm like, okay, are we going to settle this or what? So you got to imagine like this giant, bulky Gamera type or something like that. And it says Jay's humble effect. Only reason why I say that is because at least Gamera, while dangerous as Godzilla, is not nearly as frightening as Godzilla. But then again, if you've seen that other trilogy that came out, he's pretty damn scary. But the point is like this. That's why you got to look at it that way. I could have looked at it as a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but nah, that's too funny. But like I said before, it's a humble effect. It's one of those things that checks you to make sure you don't go too far, because when you fall hard. And if you have to rebuild at a certain age group, like in your mid-30s or whatever, that's just something you have to do. I remember somebody sitting there complaining about that too. So just saying, I didn't achieve much. I'm 35, and I'm like, you see, this is that stupid common folk logic. I mean, I covered this in episode in the episode 182. I'm happy to disappoint. See, the thing about it is like, you know, when you got people that do that time limit crap to you, or you got to have this by this, or you got to have that, it doesn't work like that. Especially nowadays with everything in a state of flux. If that's the case, then how come a lot of people out here, college degrees or no college degrees, don't have livable wages? They're not working at that 40 hours a week kind of job. You understand what I'm saying? They're barely trying to get 30 or 32. Or they can't even get the 5-day flavor. You understand what I'm saying? And then their hours get cut after a certain quarter. And it don't make no sense. You know? That's like working at a job at like, let's say, Walmart, Target, or any of the big box stores, you know, in agreeance with them. They do that crap all the time, cutting your hours back and all that kind of stuff. I remember when I was working part-time at Sam's Club. I remember when I got my hours cut, and I was like, what the hell am I doing with cut hours for? Of course, you know, then there's like, you know, DoorDash and Grubhub and stuff like that to make the difference. But at the same time, you know, that's more of a choice kind of thing rather than like, you know, oh, I have to immediately do that. You know, it's the same thing. Well, GameStop was going under fire after a while there too. So that's definitely a part-time job. Yeah, except for like if you're a manager or whatever, and then, you know, you get those full-time hours, and then you get those full-time hours, you fight tooth and nail to keep them, don't you? Because even if the job is toxic or abusive, you fight tooth and nail to keep it because that's your income and stuff. And I can't blame you for that. But you see, the sad part about it is, it's like, we all should be bringing home livable wages. There's something here that is completely amiss, that's busted up, that somehow got really, really trashed along the way. And it didn't make it easier for any of us that are up and coming, or those of us that are still trying to get by, those of us that are in our 30s that are trying to make a difference in our lifestyle, you know, to be the bosses, because Lord knows the bosses that are in charge, they ain't worth nothing to work for. It's little things like that. But you see, the talking town doesn't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that problem unless it's something that concerns them. And it's something that they get out of it. Whereas me, I'll happily talk about it because you know why? Because I go through it. I'll talk about it because you know what? I want to make changes. I want to go ahead and do the right thing. I want to go ahead and step into this whole thing. Even where there's like, you know, what can I say? Is it more of a monologue because people don't want to listen? Or is it because it's more of a narrative because it's this story that comes out of the woodwork and nobody cares? For real, though, you know, sometimes you got to start saying that. See, the problem is we care too much. We care too much about stupid stuff. We care too much about how many subscribers we have on YouTube, or how many subscribers we have on our radio stations, or how many subscribers we have on, well, not subscribers, but followers on Twitter and all these other things. I mean, yeah, that's very important, isn't it? I mean, to get that go through all this hell just to get that little blue check on that stupid identification form. Even though you can pay for it. You don't really need to, honestly. You can pay for it now. And then if you write a nice letter to Jack Dorsey going to take care of you. You're going to be all right. You're going to be the most beautiful, ugly bastard this side of the interwebs because at the same time of what you invested in. Because that's important. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want me to talk about, like, the history of things or, you know, to have the talk with you. They want me to go ahead and tell you some softball crap and go ahead and look into getting you to buy something that's completely and utterly useless, that's never going to benefit, which I never even took the time to use because, hey, I'm smarter than that. But that's the thing, you know? Whereas at the same time, it's like, you know, I'd rather advertise you to go ahead and do something better. I'd rather go ahead and throw something like, you know, why not go to college? Or why not take up more trades? Or why not go ahead and give yourself something more beneficial to look forward to? Which some of you were actually smart about, and I paid attention to this. Some of y'all were actually smart about with your stimulus, and you played the market. Or you were smart enough to go ahead and look into like different trades, or go ahead and looking to see like what's booming and what's the market for you. Some of you have been pretty smart about it, and that's great. Using that money for better intentions, and not only that, to keep your house together, keep the place in order, dog. That's the way. But you know, like even now, like I managed to get rid of a few of these streaming networks and stuff. I don't even watch them anymore. But I have been jumping back into Crunchyroll because you see, I heard there's a new Gundam live action movie coming, and I decided to go ahead and start watching the series again from Amuro Ray up to where Hiro Yui is. Well, yeah, put Domon Kashu in there too, so that I could go ahead and get my fix. And let me just tell you this: once you're back in the Gundam universe, you never leave. You never leave. You're home. And I like that, you know? And you see, as I speak about certain narratives that are out there, like, I remember this feminist trying to tell me this. Women can do whatever they want now. Confident women scare men. Not confident men. And what kind of men are you talking to? Are you talking to those men that really are, you know, have envy because they carry a rod, or the ones like me that pretty much are just trying to get through life and don't really give a damn? And if you are stepping up into those CEO lifestyles and stuff, then you know what the hell I'm talking about, because you're probably as tired as I am. I mean, let's just be real. CEO life isn't as glamorous as it is. Like, when you see we got that fancy car and that home in the hills, or we got all that stuff going on, and we got a bunch of our enablers hanging out with us because they damn sure ain't friends, let's just be honest. But we got all of our enablers hanging out with us talking about, yeah, you know, you should make it rain. Yeah, you should do all this stuff. Yeah, you know, you got to look into that. Yeah, yo, what about my new phones? Yeah, you going to take care of us or what? Hey, big player, big baller, you going to help us out, all that stuff? Yeah, wild crap like that. Because you can see the fakeness. That's why. You can see the lines in there. That's why. Because as soon as the money dip comes in there, which can be at any time, you'll start to see that social circle will get a lot smaller. Then you'll know the real friends and stuff. You see what I'm saying? All that glitters ain't gold, and all that's gold ain't real. And while we're on the subject here, might as well go ahead and start investing in aluminum, because allegedly aluminum's rare. I'm teasing. Then again, I don't know. It was rare for a little bit, wasn't it? But, you know, it's one of those kind of things that you think about, though. Because, like, see, like, you know, when you notice it from time to time, that's just the fakeness of the world we live in. Everybody wants that Insta fame. Everybody wants all that money coming in. Everybody wants to be the top star at the time, but little do they realize how fickle fame is. You know? Quite a lot of those people we idolized back in the day, or idolize now, especially those of you that look at people on TikTok, be like, I want to be like them. And then that's when I come in and I pimp slap you. Because at that point, I'd be like, nah. Don't be like them. Be the producer. Be the director. Be the advertiser. Be the agent. Be all that kind of stuff. Don't aim for that. Performing arts is great and everything, and you can make money if you're smart. But if you look at it like, you know, developmental and go into the gross, you might be a little bit better off for that. And the marketing. There's always things to step up into. You know? I'll slap the hell at you. Messing around. And then, like, you know, like I see certain musicians out there. Do you know how many talented people I'm around all the time? And then I realize, like, you know, these are good people. They need to be heard. They need to be seen. There's a lot of great music out here that, you know, could be a legacy. There could be the voice of an entire generation out there. And quite a lot of people in the Jam fam actually have that. And, you know, I do right by them all the time as they do right by me. But I also know that as we are a community of people, there are some people I can't save. there are some people that, you know, are so full of themselves that they, you know, think they're bigger than what they are, even though somebody gave them a shot. And then they start going into that other form. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. One that thinks so big of themselves, that ego needs to get checked. And that's where I go ahead and I have my pocket of pens, and I sit right there and I start popping the, you know what I mean? I start popping the ego down a little bit, because that's what I do. While I bring you up, I got to go ahead and I got to tell you, going off sides with this one, aren't you? Which is why, like, you know, certain people, you got to let them know. It's a team effort. Now, you're growing, and that's something to be proud of, but keep your ego in check. And you see, nowadays, as I talked about enablers, that's all what an enabler does. An enabler just goes ahead and pilot lights you up and make you feel like you're bigger than what you are and all that kind of stuff. It takes a real amount of humbleness to keep you together, you know? Especially like that, because, I mean, I've had them before. I've had, like, a lot of people come and tell me how great I am at certain things and, you know, how good I am in this wonderful, wonderful industry. But at the same time, you know, they weren't there, like, when I hit Skid Row for the first time. I remember that. Yep, I remember hitting that. And didn't hear from really anybody. I mean, I heard from VP Mondo and some guy that was on the Cyclone at one time. But I do know that there was a lot of people I didn't hear from. Homeboy wouldn't bring home the bread, so, you know, we ain't got to talk to him right now. But guess what? As soon as he get that money roll back, and as soon as he finds the magic to go ahead and do what he makes for the J360 Productions, we gonna be right back there like we never left the team. Yeah, I got one of his disgusting ass, and I got rid of him too. He probably out there floating around trying to be some sort of virus to somebody. Ain't no virus to me anymore because I told him about himself. And not only that, ever cross streets with him, I'm knocking his ass out. But the point is, you know, but I already won anyway because of what I do here on J360 Radio. So sometimes the greatest revenge is what you make. And you got to be on that, you know. Now, it seems like I'm going ahead and I'm rambling about the craziness around us. That because, you know why? I see a lot of it, you know, from YouTube on in. Like, I took a look at YouTube and I look at some of those rise and fall videos, you know, like of these great big YouTubers that made all this money from Call of Duty to prank videos to reaction videos and so on and so forth. Or the one Twitch thought that made all this money because TNA, but she got older, and the thing is, nobody wants to deal with that no more. You know, all that other stuff. Like, I see it all the time. One way or another, rise and fall videos are very interesting because, for one thing, the one that makes the rise and fall video could probably get a video made of their sorry behinds, so then they'll realize, like, one way or another, monkey see, monkey do. Or at the end of the day, it's a revolving door on that. Or you see, like, you know, somebody that tries to expose all this stuff, and I always ask, like, what do you get out of it by doing it? Because at the end of the day, I have to ask myself that. What do I get out of by doing it? You know? And then you realize that this person is either A, doing it because they legitimately care, or they legitimately care about views. So that's what that little thing is. But when I see those subject matters, and I realize that these are just people at one time got twisted up and down because of the glamorous lifestyle and the false popularity of having a YouTube channel, which I have a YouTube channel, and, you know, I'm like this. So I'm only known by the measure of my subscribers, which is unfortunate, but that's the way that website works. That's the way that mindset is. And I remember one time, that idiot that I spoke about regarding the Cyclone, he tried to get me in connections with people from, you know, I don't know, there's other commentary channels, like they do old wrestling shows and all that crap, and they talk about all this stuff, and I sat there and I looked at their content, and I'm like, look, I know that there's good and bad days when I do mine, but mine's is not as nearly as horrible as that BS right there, and the fact that they get all these people in there, like, look at this camera and this horrible lighting, like, and they're just screaming into the mics. Like, for one thing, I'm like, yeah, I know there are times where I yell in the mic, but not like this. And not for the whole thing, you know? Even though there are a few Black Label episodes I've done where I was really, really pissed. But going back into it, though, it's just like when I look at it, their stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe that's because they know a lot of people. And I was like, because, that happens. Like, PewDiePie was famous not just because of him. He was famous because he knew a whole lot of people that were happily and willing to back him. See, there's so many ways to play with the system. And then some people pay for bots. I don't pay for bots. Maybe that's my problem. Because I want that real organic growth, But, it is what it is. But I don't think about it half the time because, I focus on the content. But I can see it now, like, say, like, get, like, well over 3K subscribers, and, you start focusing, oh, yeah, what do you guys like? Oh, what do you guys want to do? Oh, yeah, let's go ahead with that. Let's go ahead with that. Oh, my God, I got to see what the advertisers say. Oh, yeah, let's do all that. At that point, I done sold out. At that point, I done pandered. At that point, I done found a way to not be J-Man anymore, but to be, one of the people. Crazy stuff like that, But at the same time, it ain't gonna happen in this lifetime, though. I've been annoyed and disgusted with my fellow citizens to the point where it's like, you know what? Not in this lifetime, pal. I'm gonna keep doing what I normally do. And I had such a good time doing it. And it's just like, and you see, like, when they rose up, like, they got famous through mundane means and all that other stuff. And I don't want to entirely diss those kind of people because, you work with what you have, and that's good. That's the passion. But you see, after a while, it becomes a Rocky III principle. You trade it up for glory. Oh, now you got the expensive crap. Now you're trying too hard to be funny. Or now you want to be that person that does cringe humor. You don't do cringe humor right, And then you get checked for that. And then once again, you do something immoral, and rather us being who we are, sometimes we're in a competition of being holier than thou, I just look at this and I'm like, this is trash. All this extra stuff took you further away from what you were doing. And it's okay to do content changes, and it's okay to shift like where you want to go. But you see, there's some opportunist jerks out here that will happily go about doing stupid stuff like this. And then you realize that one way or another, kind of like that Boogie guy back in the day. I mean, he seemed to be the most wholesome person, right? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Or you look at Wings and you think about, like, the Call of Duty videos he used to do. Were some of them funny? Not really. But you see, that's because at the end of the day, they don't appeal to me. But, when I look at those things, like seeing like how they fall and all that kind of stuff, ain't no different than the same old Aesop that, be true to yourself, nothing lasts forever, fame is fickle, folks' popularity is a lie, and people are jerks. People are really, really jerks, and they're jokes, and then 9 times out of 10, not everybody will like you. And then be mindful of what you post anyway. Don't be telling people 100% of your life on the internet. But nobody does that anymore. Oh, yeah, you see them. They walk around doing them little home tours and everything. Why the hell would I care where your dirty laundry is kept? There's reasons why I don't post on YouTube that often. If I don't have content that day, I'll just go ahead and take a walk. I don't need it. You know what I mean? Get up and go somewhere. And without putting in real life on Twitch so that people could be like, hey, yeah, J-Man out there, he on Twitch, y'all. Let's go see him. Which, by the way, I don't mind if you come and see me, but chances are I ain't going to be on Twitch just sitting there and be like, yeah, y'all, I'm out here at the baseball field. Yeah, we just looking at stuff on the baseball field. Ain't nothing happening in the baseball field. Yeah, let me tell y'all about taxes, because it was tax day and all, things like that. Think about it. No. If I'm going to be on Twitch in real life, we're going to talk about something else other than whatever the hell that generic scenario was that I just told you about. Speaking of Twitch, by the way, yes, I have been working on some J360 TV stuff for Twitch, and it's coming together well, so you guys will be seeing some new stuff shortly. But you see what I'm saying is like, I don't want to be dissing other people entirely on their content, but I just know, like, there's a lot of people out there that get bragging rights for the most mundane crap. And you see, like, when that idiot introduced me to those other idiots, That's all he would talk about. He's like, they got 5.6 subscribers. I was like, yeah, 5.6 morons over here with nothing better to do to come listen to this a-hole pull some more crap out of their behind instead of just going ahead and letting you know what's going on in wrestling. I don't give a damn about his opinion. Like, what is the problem? See, things like that. And then that same other moron tries to come over there and say, you don't post videos every day. Yeah, because I have a life, jackass. That's what I told him. I said, you see, at that time, I was working like 2 part-time jobs, going to college. So at the same time, it's like, you know something? Yeah. I think the money's a little important right now because I have a bill to pay. So out of my face. And I said, I don't want nor need your help. And I still follow through on that principle. Like when people try to chime in and they try to be like, well, I'm trying to help you. But it's the most patronizing kind of help. You can't fool me. I can see right through you. And truth be told, you're not fooling anybody. So what I did was I took that moron from the Cyclone and I took this other moron and I made a 2-bitch moron and throw both of them at each other. And got him out of my face. 1, I didn't take advice from the other one. 2, that other person knows not to talk to me anymore. That's just the way it goes. My channel, my rules. Like, I look at my YouTube channel now, and I always like, it's at 82 or 81 or whatever, because YouTube will come up in there and try to, erase some of the people that subscribe to you just because, I don't know. So as I look at it, I'm like, I don't care at this point. But I'm going to put content on there anyway. Like, even this episode is going to land on there anyway. And then chances are they'll probably send me another BS letter trying to say, well, this content here is so, like, it's not applicable for kids. My channel's not applicable for kids, idiot. Things like that, Or if I was to talk about like how the Civil War went down, or I was talking about all the ins and outs of the Cold War, they'd probably send me something for the same thing. And then once again, I still would go ahead and write a letter to them and tell them about themselves. And then they'll go ahead and they'll start be like, we were wrong. Damn right you were. Ain't no different than what they're doing to some of these people on Instagram nowadays. Like, who would have thought that a girl walking around in a black leather bikini, with a crop whip in her hand, and she's not using said crop whip at all, it's just she's holding it, would be offensive to the terms of service. Stupid, man. It's just that level of stupidity, and these algorithms that are made from that level of stupidity are so in sync with each other. It's dumb. It's really dumb. That's why, one way or another, these things are not the main focus right now. But you see, at the end of the day, I'll happily fight them. I'll happily go to court. I'll happily tell them off and all that kind of stuff. Because I will, and that's just who I am. Because I get tired of things trying to police me. You know what I mean? When I was walking around as a, yay tall, we didn't have all that kind of stuff. It was all about living your life and all just trying to get through your day. I mean, if you're in one social clique, chances are you're in that social clique. But if you're not in that social clique, who gives a damn? See, nowadays people are like, oh, well, you gotta be with this, you gotta be with that. Like Brave New World kind of nonsense. Nah. If your club is this ridiculous and this stupid to try to get into, I want no part of it. If it gets to the point where I have to hurt somebody to be in it, I don't want no part of it. If I have to become a toxic jackass like you, I want no part of it. It's just all that kind of stuff. If it's like one way or another where I got to go ahead and do one of the rituals to get in the gang, I don't want to be in the gang because I'll form my own gang. And not only that, as I form my own gang, I slice that out and I call it a club. And then at the end of the day, I do my own stuff. Because I'm more of a leader anyway, and I see the leadership of these said clubs that one time I wanted to be a part of. Ain't no leadership there. So, it's just one of them kind of things. Which is why, I'd rather just be a force of nature. Whereas my friend is a force to be reckoned with. I'd rather just be a force of nature. One way or another, if you have found a way to make my life harder, we go into war. See, now this is the most equality you're going to get, people, because, dare I say it, I'm not praising or putting anybody on pedestals. I'm going to flat out say this. I dislike anybody who makes my life harder. If your narrative at some point or another came in my way, you're going to be hurt. Simple as that. I'm going to look you right in the eye and I'll be like, all right, you better have a strong criteria for all this nonsense that you're saying and all this noise you out here producing, because you wrecking my sleep. Much like Al Bundy, I know things will not get that much better until my black ass goes back to sleep. So the last thing you want to do is wake me up with stupid stuff. All right? Because I made this joke before, but I'm saying it again. Yeah, much like Godzilla, I wake up, I take a look at things I don't like to see, so I'm going to go ahead and make that into a little bit of a construction zone, if you get my meaning. And I get tired of it, man. I get tired of it from time to time. Like when I'm over here and I'm doing a few retro gaming and I talk about all that cool stuff, like that's what the Power Play's for. I don't need somebody chiming in and be like, you should get some new releases so you get some more viewers. I'd be like, you need to go wash your ass and brush your teeth before you tell me exactly what I need to do with my channel, F-face. That's what I say. I don't give a damn about engagement. Maybe I was just playing the game on Twitch because I wanted to have a good time. Maybe. Like sometimes, when you just do stuff because you just do stuff. I mean, hell, I started playing Bioshock 1 again just because it was fun. I'll get back to the Bioshock 2 playthrough. No worries on that. But at the end of the day, I'm just having a good time. I'm experimenting. I'm doing R&D. Or like when somebody tries to say, yes, could you put me at number 5 or 6 on the Jams playlist? No. Blow it out your ass. I'll put you where I put you. You're lucky I don't put you at 10 and 16 at that point. And I'm not trying to be hard about it. I'm just saying, my show, my rules. I'm fair to everybody. But it's always that one person that wants to go that extra mile. And that extra mile is going to lead them right out the door. And sometimes you got to be that way. Because it's all about what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate. It's just like if somebody's out there doing an art piece and you didn't like it, cool, you didn't like it. But you don't need to go badger the person about it. But hey, who knows what won't set off the talk in town, and who knows what won't set off the issues in society, or at the end of the day, what won't piss Gen Z off? And who cares? Yeah, I said it. Meant every word, too. Who cares? You're not solving anything. You're making more problems on top of the problems that we already have. Let's go ahead and solve a problem. Put aside our differences for a change. If you can achieve that. Some food for thought, I guess. Son, I don't think I covered anything in the description box that I wrote for this episode. But the truth is that, little things like that remind me exactly why I do things. And then, pretty much we're on the road to 300 episodes now, and it's good to be back, and it's a refresher of why I choose to do what I do. You know what I mean? But hey, once again, though, I'm not entirely heartless, and at the same time, I do have friends in the world and stuff like that, but it's like, just pay attention to what's around you. And as we're on that subject, I do have a crossover episode, a Hangouts episode, happening and landing tomorrow with a great band that I idolized since I started doing J360 Jams, and they are called Final Shift, man. And you know what? That is happening tomorrow at 10 o'clock p.m., and I want you all to be there for it, because it was just a lot of fun sitting back with Jack Fox and talking about, just having a good time and showcasing 3 of his songs. So we are going to be in for a treat tomorrow. But until then, though, I want you guys to take it easy. I'll see you then, and we'll be back to normal soon enough, because I got freelance work I'm doing for this weekend. So yeah, a lot of things going on right now. But till then, it was good to be back here for you guys. And hey, let's go on ahead and make this quest happen. We got 299 more episodes to make. All right, guys, y'all take it easy, all right? This is J-Man signing off. Peace.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.